Good evening, everybody. This is Sean from Urban Tactical Survival. I wanted to come to you today with our tabletop review of the Schrade Schf28. I reviewed this knife in a previous video, and I love it. This is one hell of a blade. This blade in your hand just screams it wants to go chop. So, this is the blade I wanted to do an upgrade on. So, since having it, I thought, what can I do to increase its ability as a survival tool? So, I decided I'm going to upgrade it and put on a couple, not much, keep it down to the bare minimum. I'm not going to go get very elaborate and very GQ on it. It's going to be bare. The bare necessities. Things you would need in a pinch or in an emergency situation. So, if you happen to be out and you find yourself near a body of water, stream, hopefully, and you need to fish, or you have the ability to go fishing, so do so. So what I'm equipping this blade on the sheath, I'll show you here. What I've done, also added, is a survival whistle. I've hooked that on. So this whistle, sometimes in the wilderness you may be in a position where you can't physically draw out an SOS. You can light a fire, smoke, okay, so then you use the whistle to blow it as loud as you possibly can, and this is a very high rated decibel whistle. They can hear this from a mile away. So you can alert them as to where your position is, and they can come and rescue you. On top of that, you got to start a fire. Fire is essential to staying dry, boiling water, purifying water, helps with shelters. I'm adding 4 waterproof matches and the striker also, and conveniently wrapped in a plastic baggie so they don't get wet. Should you drop this knife in water, the contents will not get wet. They'll stay dry. But these matches are designed to strike. They're waterproof, so they'll strike even if they were wet. So you're good there in that department. Also, a small fishing kit with about 50 feet of 50-pound test line. Where did my test line go? Here we go. 50 feet, 50-pound test line. That's more than enough for what you need in order to go fishing in any stream, any lake, any pond that you might find yourself near. Okay? You have 2 eagle claw fish hooks with the lead lines on them already, and 3 weights, 4 weights inside this pack. So it's also enclosed in a waterproof pack. So if it gets wet, the contents won't rust, the hooks won't rust, everything stays dry. So I'll be adding all of that on the inside, on top of the sheath. And we'll be wrapping this sheath with bankline. Not paracord, 550 paracord. I'll wrap it in bankline. Why? Because bankline is very light. It's much lighter than paracord. It's thin, but very, very strong. And you can also use the inside strands as fire tinder. Bankline is one of the strongest lines that you can get. You can use this for a number of things. Hooking up and building shelters, pitching a tent, tying down the tent stakes, you know. So I'll be wrapping that in with about maybe 50 feet of bankline around the sheath itself. I've taken the liberty, I don't know if you can see that, I'll bring it up close, but there are notches I've cut into the sheath. There's 2 here, and then there's 1 there. I cut those notches there so when I start the wrap of the bankline won't slip off of the sheath, because if you can see the design of the sheath, it narrows down. Anything you put on it might slip right off, and I don't want that. I want this bank line to stay on. So I've notched it there so it will stay on once I start the wrap. So I'll be wrapping it in 50 feet of bank line. It's more than enough bank line to pitch a tent or use cordage for whatever might you need in the field. So that's an upgrade I'm doing to the sheath. I will cut away, start this, and bring you back the final and finished product so you can see what it looks like. But there's the sheath. I've already attached the whistle. The whistle does work. Let me show you right quickly. Does work. But if you blow on that a lot harder than I just did, it's ear piercing. You can hear that from a mile away. So I'll come back with the finished wrapped product so you can see that on the sheath. Okay, so here we have it. The finished product, what it looks like. With, wouldn't get 50, I think it's about 15 feet, maybe 20 feet. I'd say maybe 20 feet. Didn't count exactly and measure it all out. But I'd say 15 to 20 feet bank line, number 35 bank line. You got 4 waterproof matches on the inside. You have a fishing kit with 2 eagle claw fishing hooks, 4 weights, and about 35 feet of fishing line, 50-pound test line. So that's more than enough to get you a fish out of the big lakes. There's the upgrade on the Schrade Schf28 sheath blade. And there you have it, a complete SHFT scenario survival blade. With the blade and everything wrapped in here, you will survive. So hit like and subscribe on the videos. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Give me comments. I appreciate the thumbs up and subscribing to the videos. Again, this is Sean from Urban Tactical Survival, coming to you with an upgrade tabletop of the sheath on the Schrade Schf28.